to the 60s were the kings of their genre. They say Aerosmith in the 70s was the same thing. They say in the late 80s going into the 90s. Oh, pardon me. It is these boys right here, Guns N' Roses, out of Los Angeles. These guys come from all over the place. Which, you guys are going back and forth on these cameras here. Right here we got Stevie. We got Duff right over here. We got my man Slash right over here. Izzy next to him. And W, Axl Rose, a period after W, if you would, please. Now, here's what the story is, fellas. They say you guys are cocky. They say you're insolent. They say, honestly speaking, you guys are a bunch of wackos.
Wackos.
Now, how you guys feel about that? That's the image you guys have got as far as the critics are concerned.
We just don't take any garbage off anybody, that's all. It's simple. And a lot of people think that's problems.
Oh, really? Well, now, let me ask you this, man. A lot of people are saying that you guys are blowing away the headlining act, and a lot of bands don't want you guys on the tour with them. How'd this Motley Crue thing come along, this Motley Crue thing?
Oh, we're going out with them in a few days, about a week.
Well, actually, we're finding out that a lot of the bands, after they've had taken the time to, like, listen to the record and stuff, we're getting calls from a lot of major bands, you know, that really like the record. You know, but when they've already got an opening act set up, you know, you have to wait till there's an opening to go out there with them. I like what we're doing because the tours, we're like doing a little bit with this band, a little bit with this band, rather than doing like a whole year with one act.
Well, I read somewhere where you guys have a situation where you don't necessarily like certain acts. Let me throw out some names. Aerosmith, how you guys feel about that?
No, it's not. I mean, it's not even getting to that point. I mean, it's like the question you ask about, you know, like the bands, is how do they feel? It's like with Crue, you know, they probably don't care. I mean, we just want to have a good time. We did with the Cult, that was a great one too, you know. As far as the other bands, we don't even pay attention to what's going on with them.
Aerosmith's a great band. We've been trying to work out something with them for a while. It's just always conflicting schedules.
Welcome to the Jungle is the first release off of this new album. We're going to take a look at this clip. What kind of jungle are we talking about here, fellas?
Talking about the concrete, the streets, the city, and basically what being exposed to like news and everything else of the city, what it can do to you and how it can affect you.
Do you guys have a little problem getting this thing on TV?
Yeah, I think
Seems to have taken a little while,
Now that you mention that.
Yeah, and there's a few changes been made to this video. We bought actual news footage that had been shown on television from NBC and CBS and ABC. But we had to cut a lot of that out.
Well, let's see what the end result is. Guns N' Roses right here on MTV. Gentlemen, together on the count of 4, let's rock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's rock. I understand that this was banned by the record company.
No, it wasn't banned by the record company. It was banned by a lot of stores. The record company was actually pretty much into it. It was banned by Warner Brothers. They wouldn't produce the album cover that way. So we had to hire an independent artist to put the album cover together. It's a Robert Williams painting. He does a lot of shows here in New York and in LA and all over the world. And it's more of an underground comics artist. That's like that painting sold in 1978 for like $10,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
So now it's worth a lot more.
Well, now, you know, on your album notes, I wrote here that it says, special thanks to all the teachers, preachers, cops, and elders who never believed. The meaning therein, gentlemen?
Just people that didn't believe in what, you know.
So in other words, you are holding one finger very, very high in front of their faces.
Yeah, when you were a kid, you know, going, well, listen to this music. No, you'll never get anywhere doing that. Yeah, we will. You wait and see.
Well, I tell you what, you guys got a good reputation out there on the road, man. I know it was rough the first night out there at the Marquee in England, as I understand it, but you guys are kicking ass right now, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All those gigs have been...
Well, you know, I also hear that...
Went from the Marquee to the Odeon now.
Yeah. But you guys are kicking ass now, man. I mean, all over the place. You just played at the Ritz last night.
No,
no, it's last night because it's Saturday. Where's your head at?
Yeah, man.
I'm telling you, man, this guy's in another world here. Well, here's what I got to ask, because I understand it. When you guys go, you are very well known. No. You guys, as I understand it, are very well known for your interior decorating capabilities, along with the great rock and roll.
5 degrees.
And as I understand, you guys have redecorated many a motel room, and I look at this beautiful facade we have here.
All the time.
Gentlemen, if I gave you 30 seconds, do you think that...
tell these real quick.
We got some dates coming up?
Some hotels that we're going to be visiting.
What motels do we have to look forward to?
It's our motel tour, see?
Yes.
Anyhow, we're playing October 23rd at the Ritz. Tomorrow night.
Okay. 25th.
The 25th in Poughkeepsie.
Oops.
October 20th. Oh, I see. I get it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
October 26th in Providence.
All right.
October 27th in Boston, and October 29th in Lemooris in Brooklyn.
Well, fellas, with this
Tell that girl
Appetite for Destruction. No problem. If Appetite for Destruction is any indication, you guys are going to destroy a whole lot when it comes to rock and roll. Good luck to you. And I'm going to ask you guys now, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to redecorate this room. On your mark, set, go. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have before us here is redecoration unlike any I've ever seen. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's starting to look a little more like home. These boys have such a touch. They have such a beautiful artistry about them. Oh, I have never in my life ever seen anything done like this. This is a wrecking crew. Unbelievable.
Well, we don't consider ourselves a heavy metal band.
You in the jungle, baby!
We consider ourselves a rock and roll band. With this particular album, Appetite for Destruction, we wanted to put the rock and roll out first, the hard stuff out first, but you know, there'll be a lot of variation on the next record. A lot of bands are scared to venture into any territory except hard rock, and it's a lot of guys who feel like, well, if I do that, I'm wimpy. Name anybody that you've ever listened to, if we've heard of them, they're an influence. A lot of the 70s hard rock bands, like Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, Alice Cooper, AC/DC. I listened to everything from old Bessie Smith, to Frank Sinatra, to Metallica's latest. When the parents hate it, the kids love it. So it's like, you know, and then the parents end up finding a song they like. So I like that. We just give everything that we have during the show to the point of like, it takes a lot of time to recover afterwards. I hit LA with a backpack, a piece of steel in one hand and a can of mace in the other. And guys were trying to sell me joints everywhere. And then some black guy turned me on to the bus station. So I found the bus station, and there'll be a song all about the bus station on our EP called 1 in a Million. And then I rode all around Fullerton thinking it was just the smallest city I had seen and I would find Izzy. I rode the bus for like 2 days. Never found Izzy. But, you know, I stayed in Huntington Beach for a while. I found this empty apartment with a door open and a skateboard in the corner, and that was Izzy's. Got lucky. I paid some guys a case of beer to help me find Huntington Beach, because I didn't know where it was. And then I hitchhiked the whole country for a while, looking for where I wanted to stay and start working on a band. You know, went all the way up to, went to San Francisco, went to Rhode Island, went down to Hollywood, Florida, back to Indiana for a while to regroup my brain, and then back to LA, and I moved to Hollywood. Yeah, it's like I got the tattoo first. I had a friend design it because I just felt that no matter what happens with this band, where it went, what we sold, or if it broke up, changed, whatever, or any other members, that at that time it was the most important thing. And it's like, I like tattoos, and I wanted something that would always remind me of what was once there, you know, a symbol of it. And so, you know, I got the cross tattoo here, and then Geffen liked it so much we decided to use it for a cover.
It'd be one of those things that I tell your grandkids.
See, like Slash, you like notice, see, Slash wanted straight hair, so we gave him straight hair.
I didn't ask for straight hair.
Yes, you did. You totally did. Yes, you did.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Totally.
What makes you say that?
Because you did.
Why? Was I drunk?
I don't know. Yeah, I think you were. You were at the Hell House.
Oh, yeah, because I told Bill, I said, you're never going to be able to draw curly hair right. Get to one part, and then you want to, you know, I can't put it into words, really, what it is. It's just a
Slash
feeling.
is one of the most emotional guitar players that I've ever met or ever seen. And coming from Indiana, I used to play with this guitar player named Paul, and I learned about blues and emotionalism and stuff through him, and he was a big Page fanatic. And then I came to LA and I saw all these people trying to be Eddie Van Halen. And it took 5 years to find somebody who played more from the heart rather than just trying to be the fastest and trying to do this and that to be a big rock star. Someone who, like, he'll be very quiet and stuff most of the time and really won't let a lot of himself out until he picks up a guitar. And then his heart and soul seems to pour out through the guitar. And it's just like, I sit down a lot of times at shows, I'll sit down right on the stage, right in front of his amp when he's doing a solo, because it means so much to me just to hear that. It took a few years, like for a couple of years, Izzy was real good at, like, he'd been out there just long enough, and he was always good at scamming his way in, and I wasn't. So it took me like about 2 years to even like be able to talk to people. I just kind of like stand around and watch, you know, and people didn't accept you so easily. And I remember I was wearing cowboy boots, and I got told I looked like I just got off the boat. And now like people buy cowboy boots for their mother out there. It's like, it's kind of weird. But you know, we met Slash. We ran an ad for a heavy metal punk glam guitarist, blues influenced. And Slash showed up and we said, nah, but he kept popping up everywhere we were at, and all of a sudden we started working together. It took a long time, and I guess it took a long time for me to learn and accept things out there. You know, he had been there the whole time and nothing was really that new.
From the beginning.
Yeah. And Izzy was just running around learning about every fad that there was, till finally at this point he's just bored with everything except, you know, and just gets into his guitar, and it's real cool. He's like, you know, doesn't worry about too much of anything except his guitar.
It's really funny because like none of us are from Los Angeles, and everybody like tries to label us as an LA band. We just all happen to have met there, and we were the only 5 guys that could have made up Guns N' Roses. I mean, we had different combinations of us in different bands, you know, throughout the time we were coming up and getting it together. And
yeah, there
was
would
like
be 1 or 2 of the same guys.
We couldn't, there was nobody else in LA we could have played with, so it was inevitable that the 5 of us would get together because that was it. I mean, there was no other combinations that were going to work, you know.
I heard a Paul McCartney interview, and he was talking about how he writes songs, and he said that there is no formula. He says he's written songs probably every single way, you know, imaginable. And, you know, he was wondering if there was a few more ways. Sometimes it starts out with 1 word, sometimes 1 note, sometimes a verse, a riff, a chorus, a drum beat. It always varies every time. Sometimes a whole song hits you at once. Then you're very fortunate, I think. And, you know, you've really got something. Other times it takes, you know, it could take up to a year to get a song exactly the way that your mind's picturing it. A lot of times you hear something in your head, you picture it, but you can't quite figure out how to get it out. Like if you were a painter and you see the picture, but you can't figure out how to paint it. I've heard a lot of painters describe it as basically their work is just a shadow of what they saw in their head. You know, and sometimes that's what we get, other times we nail it right on the head and it completely comes out. Start a song, it's like I'll try it in different ways and finding which way fits it best. And if I think that some sound, some way of singing is going to work better, I'll just work on that way. It might be something new that I've never done before. Like, It's So Easy, I'd never sang a song like that before, but the high voice just didn't seem to fit it as well. And so I started working on the low one. And Mr. Brown's song, it reminded me of a Stones-ish type funk thing. And so I was just playing around with it. And then, you know, we heard a rehearsal tape back and it sounded like it might work, so I just started practicing that way. I'm like a second baritone, and I just worked on widening my range to get a high range, and so then I just try to find the way to use it, to use the whole thing rather than limit myself.